This video, I would like to talk about brand love, loyalty, and commitment. On the top, if you see the title, I have written anthropomorphism. What does it mean? That we are trying to attach a lot of human properties to non human objects or even living beings, other animals, that means, or to even God. So, in the context of marketing, why we will do that? In the context of business, why we will do that? That becomes the question that why we are using the human metaphors, why we are using the terms like love in the context of one product which is an inanimate object. So, to answer this question, we need to think about machines, think about the activities which are done in economic organizations, and there we need to find out the role of humans. For example, if we imagine factories, if we imagine plants, so there what machines are doing primarily, they are carrying out our activity only. If they are not there, we will be carrying out those activities, like we will be digging, excavation will be done, we will be chopping things, we will be cutting the things. So that means machines are nothing but they are human creations and our extensions. So they too are likely to behave like human beings. Whether today's machines, computer we are talking about, those have got computing ability, or artificial intelligence, or any other mining machine in coal field or blast furnace. So all those activities, if we see, they have been done primarily by human beings only. There if you there if you go further, then we are talking about lot of products and services where human creativity is involved, and that is why we get into understanding of various business things using the relationship ideas which will be existing at human level. And one of that idea which has gained a lot of prominence in the marketing literature is the idea of brand love. So originally, if we look at the concept of love from psychological perspective, they will be telling the three dimensions of it. They are talking about intimate relationship. So we need to have intimate relationship with Dove, Lux, Tesla, and Ashok Leyland. So intimate relationship should be there. We should be passionate about it and we should be committed to it. So original idea is in the context of human being, where intimate relationship between two human beings, it may necessarily may not it may necessarily not mean that we are talking about same gender, but even genders are different. We are talking about intimate relationship between two human beings, or for that matter, at many to many relations also we can talk, but for the purpose of simplicity, we are talking about only two human beings. So they develop intimate relationships, and when intimate relationships are developed, or sometimes even if they are not developed, we find a lot of passion is there for other human being, and we become committed towards that. So if we are thinking from business perspective, Our objective is to retain them. Our objective is to lock them in my relationship, get married to me only, and not think about any others. So, in that sense, the it's it, we are talking about something which is designed by following human norms, which is not necessarily the human thinking pattern. If we are talking about human thinking, then the concept of free will be there, volition will be there, and multiple choices will be there. So the key question becomes that why a consumer should lock in himself or herself permanently with a particular brand, be it of any product or services. But from marketer's perspective, from business perspective, if we see, then it makes a lot of sense. That is why this thing is discussed a lot, that how to ensure the long term relationship with my product or services of a for a consumer. So there they say that it cannot be done in one single way, in one single step. So some initial step need will have to be taken. So first we will have to create an identity where we will have to define ourselves. The product or service needs to define itself, and it needs to build certain level of awareness. That means it should be known in the market in very in-depth manner where recall is possible, and it should come from multiple sources, from the advertising. Even when we are talking about business to business context, there also your marketing communication, TV advertising may not be there, but marketing communication will be there. And there, through the brochure, through the presentation or mailers, you are trying to build the awareness. But if you think of any awareness, pure awareness is not possible. If pure awareness only of the name is there, then there are going to be problems in the memory. We won't be able to recall. So that is why when we think of a name, many other ideas will be coming to our mind, many other associations. So that means first we need to deliver the salience, and then after that we are getting into the meaning where associations are going to get formed. Imagery is going to get formed, and their products or services are going to perform as well when usage is going to get created. At this level, when we are talking about meanings, then consumer is thinking, he is finding that certain things are common across brands, so those things become matter of points of parity, and some things, there are things which are going to be points of difference. Like if we are talking about food product, let's say we are talking about packaged fruit juice, and there we are comparing, let's say, Real and Minute Maid. So in both, guava may be there, but procurement of guava is different. The manner in which it has been processed, that is different. So those things are going to create differences. Those things are going to build the differentiation, and that will be contributing to the brand meaning at this stage. That means when we are talking about POP and POD, points of parity and points of difference, it will be coming here, and this will also lead to meaning here we are talking about awareness. Then we are getting into consumer level human judgments and feelings which this product, real or Minute Maid, all about. So we are looking at consumers' response in terms of their evaluation of it. So response becomes the key thing. And here we expect that amongst our core consumers, those who are more attached because they liked the imagery and performance wise they were satisfied, positive feelings are going to get generated. But the story should not stop over here. Story should go on at the level of resonance, where relationships need to be formed. So, if relationships need to be formed, why it needs to be formed and when it will be formed, that becomes the question. So, active loyalty is the thing which is being talked about. That means we are talking about loyalty which can be expressed either in terms of knowledge, cognitive loyalty, or behavior, repurchase, or at the level of affect, emotions. So, either at the level of knowledge, you start exploring a lot about Sony's product. So, cognitive loyalty we develop. Sometimes knowledge may not be there, but emotions may be there, affect may be there. So, in some of the situations, maybe we may be willing to sell our kidney and buy some company's product, despite the fact that we are not having full knowledge of that product or service. Very cursory knowledge we are having of that object. Then also we like it because probably others like it, and that is the idea we cherish. So the idea which we cherish, and there if an imagery is going to fit in, that means right kind of meaning is going to get generated, and if it evokes positive feeling, that means some kind of affect is getting, good affect is getting built in. And then we get into behavioral loyalty, where we are talking about if FMCG and similar set of product where repeat purchase is possible, then we will be advocating for repeat purchase. Then good word of mouth or word of mouth we will be expecting. A recommendation we will be expecting, and their repeat purchase at the first level. Word of mouth, combination of either of the things will be possible, or if I become too passionate, then without it, when I reach to the level of brand love, then I will be resisting. So consumer resistance will be there. I will become lover so that where passion related behaviors are going to get displayed. I may not repurchase it. So I may not repurchase Ferrari or Harley Davidson. But I am so passionate that I join community. I will fight with a person who talks negatively about my product. So this is the linear way, one to one situation, one to one way, one to one steps have been suggested in the literature. But many a times consumers are going to display multiple things, and very often than not we will find that breakups are there, and breakups will be happening as the charm of the product goes away. That means aging of the product happens. So if it was simple infatuation, that means not a good knowledge of the product was there, despite that I became brand lover. Then gradually my love will get decay, and that will get manifested in loyalty score. But more importantly, what is going to happen? Somebody else is going to enter into my life. That means if you are thinking from the perspective of product, competition is going to set in. So when competition is going to set in, competition is going to follow the same thing. And competition too will have its identity, which will be resulting into awareness. So competition will be creating the choice, and then many a times loyalty becomes difficult. Unlike human relationships, institutions like marriage, here the question of ethics of that kind may not arise. Like if we are talking about societies and systems where institutions are going to promote and follow monogamy, their extramarital relationship is not going to be seen in a positive light. So, in the same manner, here if I am going to move to other product, the moral barrier does not exist. So, if moral barrier does not exist, then the brand love cannot be followed fully. Still, the idea remains important because, after all, we are talking about interaction with product or services where lot of human behavior is involved.